Hello and welcome to Indian Defense Review. This is Sumit Walia, and today we are going to review this wonderful book, As Far as the Saffron Fields, The Pulwama Conspiracy. Book is written by Danesh Rana, a serving IPS officer, who at the time of writing this book was Additional Director General of Police Jammu and Kashmir. This is his second book. His first book, Red Maze, received Tata Literature Live First Book Award in Fiction category in 2015. Now, if you read this book, you would realize why he got that award. He deserves it because this book is written in such a simple, candid, lucid language that it goes like a hot knife through the butter. This book is published by HarperCollins. Price of this book is about 600 rupees. I'm not sure what you get in 600 rupees these days in India. The only thing that has become cheaper in India are books. 600 rupees, and you get first-hand information based on 14,000 pages long charge sheet filed by NIA. The main source of this book is that charge sheet, along with his experience, his interviews, his own professional knowledge, because as I said, he was Additional Director General of Police in Jammu and Kashmir. This book simply does not talk about the terrorist attack of 14th Feb 2019 when 40 CRPF Jawans were killed in a deadly attack, but it goes back to trace its origin 25 years ago, back to 1994. It tells us what is the connection between this attack and arrest of Masood Azhar and Afghani on a cold winter day of 9th Feb 1994. Okay, this is the main perpetrator of the Pulwama attack. His name is Umar. Very few people know, at least I did not know it before I read this book, that Masood Azhar is his chacha, his uncle. Masood Azhar first came to India in 1994. Before that, okay, they all are from Alvi family of Bahawalpur, and their family business is jihad in Kashmir. Before, in late 80s or maybe early 90s, Masood Azhar was in Karachi giving some religious lecture to motivate people for jihad, where he was convinced to go for jihad training, military training in Afghanistan and participate actively in jihad. So the guy went. He went to Afghanistan camp, but he gave up on the very first week. He just could not take it. He gave up. There he met another terrorist whose nickname or famous name was Afghani. That was because of his military conquests against Russians in Afghanistan. Both had a destiny. They were to meet again, and they met in 1994. After Masood Azhar gave up his military training in Afghanistan, somebody again saw his in-depth knowledge and his great command over speech and emotions and Islamic knowledge, that they decided to make use of it. So Masood Azhar came to India in 1994. He came via Bangladesh, and when he landed in New Delhi, the custom officer, the immigration officer, doubted his real identity because Masood Azhar came as a Lebanese. So what was I saying? Okay, Masood Azhar entered India in 1994 through Bangladesh. He came as a Portuguese businessman, and the immigration officer in New Delhi, he noticed and said, "You don't look like a Portuguese." Masood said, "I'm a businessman from Gujarat, and at the moment I'm doing business in Lisbon." So okay, he was let go. He stayed in Delhi for a few days, and then he went to Kashmir, where he met Afghani again. There, he kept lecturing and motivating people to actively participate in jihad against India in Kashmir. And while after finishing one of his lectures, he, Afghani, and another lowly terrorist, they were coming back from Srinagar, where on the way their car ran out of fuel, and they decided to take an auto to go and fetch fuel from a nearby petrol pump. But it was not a good day for them, and they were stopped at a checkpoint. Because they were stopped abruptly, the lowly terrorist, he panicked and fired some shots, and he ran into jungle. Masood Azhar and Afghani were captured. The third terrorist, he was hunted down in a few days and he was killed. But Masood and Afghani, they were sent to jail. They stayed there for 5 more years. And when Umar was just 3 years old, his father planned hijacking of IC-814 in December 1999. The flight was to take off from Kathmandu, land in New Delhi, but they hijacked it, took it to Kandahar, negotiated with Indian government, and Masood Azhar and Afghani were released. Masood Azhar was given a grand welcome in Pakistan, and since then he has been there, waging his jihad or doing his normal business. Cut to 2000, late 2020s, when Umar, the main perpetrator, he entered Kashmir. And this book, as I said, this book just does not talk about the Pulwama attack. It talks